Okay, my name is Dian Pan. I'm the founder for Haddee Education. Today, we're delighted to invite our class of 2023 seniors, and Lillian's special. Lillian's going to medical school, so I will let her introduce herself a little bit later. But with all said, thank you for your time. We have invited quite a few speakers, knowing that many of you are on travel. We have students calling in from Shanghai, calling from Taipei, and calling from Shenyang. So really appreciate it, and quite a few are in the US. So I will give the microphone. I will based on the grid, and two of you are from Shanghai. That's great. So hi, Stanley. And so let's start. Lillian, please introduce yourself, your name, where you're going for school, and what's your major. So Lillian, please.
Hi, I'm Lillian. I graduated from the University of Chicago in 2021. Worked in healthcare investment banking at JP Morgan for 2 years, and now I'm going to medical school at Mount Sinai.
Thank you. Congratulations, Lillian. Thank you. And Olivia.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm a senior, and I am going to Northeastern University in Boston, and I'm in their combined major program for business and design. So I'm in both their colleges, CAMD and D. Amor Kim. So
yeah, awesome. That's great. Thank you, Olivia. And Alex.
Hello, my name's Alex, and I'm headed to USC to study
business school. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. And Cameron.
Hey, sorry, I'm Cam. I'm headed to UCSD to study communications as of right now. I just transferred out of community college.
That's great. Yeah, so we have a diverse panel of speakers. Awesome. Stanley?
Hi, I'm Stanley. I'm from Web and SoCal. I've landed UC Irvine for CS.
Okay, so Stanley is our international student. Congratulations, Stanley. And we have Harold. Harold, yeah? Harold?
Yep. Hello, my name is Harold Wu. I will be attending the University of Michigan in the fall, and I will be majoring in sound engineering.
Awesome. And Harold, where are you right now?
I'm currently on a 1.5 month trip in Hangzhou, China.
Oh, okay. That's my hometown. Awesome. Enjoy the food. And Fiona.
Hi, my name is Fiona Guo. I'm going to be attending Rice University in the fall, and I'm going to be studying business with a concentration in management.
Congratulations. Fiona is also our coach. She tutors our students. Thank you, Fiona. And Kalina.
Hey, everyone. I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and I'm going to be attending Cornell University in the fall, and I'm majoring in information.
Yeah, so Kalina, I think, is in Shenyang. The Zoom is not very good, but we all heard you. So I'm wearing my Cornell, okay, go red, just for you. So awesome. Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to start is a set of the questions, and I send you on the calendar. And let me just say, so the first question is going to be very quick, okay? Sorry, I need, okay. So please use one word to describe your application experience. So I'm not going to call the name, just one word. Okay, so starting with Lillian, the same order.
Unpredictable.
Unpredictable. Olivia.
reflective.
Reflective. Lovely. Alex.
Overthinking.
Overthinking. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that. Cam?
No, on the contrary, for me, it was actually pretty uncomplicated.
Uncomplicated. That's good. Stanley?
Not one word, but it's a heavy workload.
heavy workload. I see. Yeah, you work so hard because you apply for CS major. So anyway, Harold.
I'd like to describe it as self-exploratory.
Oh, lovely. That's great. Fiona?
I was also gonna say reflective, but to do another word, I'll say stressful.
Stressful. Okay, give you a hug. And Kalina?
Yeah, I was gonna say stressful as well.
Okay, I see. Well, you guys deserve a very relaxing summer, okay? Eat a lot of seafood in Shenyang. Awesome. Okay, good. Thank you all. Okay, next one's gonna be quick as well. Use one sentence to describe what really made your application special. Lillian.
So I spent 2 years after college working in healthcare investment banking, trying to explore healthcare in a different field. And at the same time, I also had more hands-on experience volunteering at a harm reduction center.
So your volunteering plus your work experience that got
Yeah.
you into medical school. Congratulations. Awesome. And it's a top 10 medical schools. I'm not familiar with medical schools. Now I learn more from your application. Awesome. Yeah. Olivia?
I think I have a pretty unique profile, like I'm pretty well-rounded, and since I'm doing like a very different major, I guess, with both this business and design, I like had a lot of business extracurriculars and also like design and artwork.
Awesome combination. Lovely. Alex?
For me, it'd be reflecting on myself, you know, adding some personality and some like personal anecdotes to my essays.
Okay. And the camera.
I used like a main guiding topic, which was just about my growth. The growth was how when I started going to community college, I failed quite a few classes. I got a bunch of F's and D's, but then towards the end, I was a straight A student. So I just talked about that growth.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, school likes seeing the upward mobility. Yeah, congratulations. So Stanley?
With the help from Ms. Pond, my advisor, I was able to show that my application is just it's more than just computer science. There are other merits, so I think that was a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard. I know this year computer science very challenging, but you did very, very well. Got into a lot of schools, and I think you want to stick around to Irvine because of food, right? And it's a great CS program there. So awesome. Harold.
I would say my application was unique in the fact that when I wrote about myself in my essay, I showcased a lot of continued dedication towards my interest that kind of showcases my interest in my major as well. So I think it highlights why I want to go to this school to learn or continue learning my interests.
I see. I should have wear two, t-shirts, go blue, okay? So, yeah, sound engineering is very unique. And Fiona.
I think that what made my application unique was that I tied a lot of my personal experiences and painted a picture of like some hardships that I've been through and tied it to my extracurriculars and my accomplishments. And I also think I covered many diverse aspects of my personality throughout my different essays.
I see. Awesome. Yeah. And Kalina?
So for me, I'd say that I was kind of able to take my extracurriculars and like my interests and my different interests because they were all the same and kind of connect them with the unique aspects of the universities that I was able to apply to.
I see. Can you let us know? I forgot. What are you planning to study at Cornell? Hear me? Okay.
Information science as of right now, but I think I might also maybe go the computer science route. Just trying to
Okay.
decide.
I see. Well, you can study anything at Cornell and you can change, no problem. So that's great. Okay. So thank you all. And the next question is, if you were starting over again, what would you do differently? And again, Lillian?
So I was lucky and unlucky, I guess, that I was able to start over because this was my second time applying. I applied to medical school first, my senior year of college. And so I think a few things I did that helped were applying earlier. So med school is rolling admissions. And then something else that helped was changing my advisor to Miss Pont. The third thing I think was changing my recs. So instead of asking professors, I think I just did well in their class. I asked professors I think I knew more on a personal level. So people I went to their office hours for. And then fourth, I asked for advice. So something that I did to improve my application was for example, increasing my shadowing hours. And then I think also just being persistent.
Yes, you're very, very persistent. Yeah. It's really hard, right? Lillian, get into medical school, right?
Yeah, and I think it was hard just picking myself back up after failing the first time.
Yeah, I see. Oh, huggies to you. Yeah, I know. And you were also working full time, right? How many hours were you working in Wall Street while applying for medical school?
I work 80 to 100 hours a week.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I can't believe you pulled this through. Yeah, it's hard. So great. And but I think in medical school will be even harder, for the 120 hours. So, and I think you're ready. Yeah, you'll be ready. So, and Olivia, how about you? What would you do differently?
Well, I would say just to start earlier because during the school year you still have to do lots of work, like you have finals, and most applications like latest are due in January. I'd also think like you have to make sure you are paying attention to deadlines, especially if you want to go the art route, because you have to turn in portfolios, and a lot of times they don't, or like videos of yourself, and they don't like tell you that on the Common App. You have to like do extra research. And then also I wasn't really able to do this because of COVID, but if I were now applying to colleges, I'd start visiting schools because that shows demonstrated interest. And also you can really get a feel of the school. And when you're writing your essays, you can write that. And also you can just learn more about the school from the people at the school. And I think that really helps.
Okay, yeah, we'll come back to you because your school, Northeastern, is a rising star among a lot of students right now because the job opportunity. That we'll come back to that question. Okay, and the same thing for Alex. USC is even also a very big name. So Alex, yeah, what would you do differently?
I think for me, it'd be going out and exploring more opportunities. So not so much as on the application side, but like throughout my daily life, I kind of like during my application process, I kind of wish I went out more, kind of just like whatever, like whether that's going out with friends or like going out to have fun or whatever. Because I really do think like all these like experiences that I have, I can really tie into my application process, and then I can really get a lot from doing a bunch of different activities that I can apply to like whatever essays or something like that.
So just say enjoy your life, enjoy your high school more.
Yeah, obviously we'll like balance it too, but like because like for me, I was like really like cooped up at one point. I was like, oh no, I gotta do this, or like I gotta finish this brainstorming session or something. But I really do feel like if I went out, it could have been beneficial as well.
I see. Now you can go out, right? Your school starts
Yeah, now
right?
now it's a little better, yeah.
Yeah, awesome, great. Okay, so Cameron, yeah, how about you?
On a similar note, for college, I would say take a lot more in-person classes. I opted for online just because I was comfortable just like being in my own room. but I definitely missed out on a lot of social life.
I
You
see.
know, yeah, take a lot more in-person classes, but when it comes to the actual application process, I would say just have like a clear picture in your mind of like the message you want to get across to colleges about yourself. And because like for me, when I was first drafting my application, I just had so many ideas of like things I wanted to tell colleges, or like things I expected them to want to hear. But just have it all tie into like one message about yourself that you think is the most important.
So what's that message? I'm curious.
For me, it was my growth.
Oh, growth. That's
I
right.
was capable of like growing, and I would continue to grow, and I want to be like a lifetime learner, that kind of thing.
Awesome. Yeah. So I know you were working full-time or part-time when you were in community college, or you were not living in the house, right? You were living in San Diego by yourself?
At first, I started working full-time when I moved. But then when I went back to college, I just went to part-time.
Okay, I see. Can you let us know, I think some students join a little bit later, what do you plan to study at UCSD?
Right now, I'm going to be studying communications.
Okay.
But I'm not the greatest or when it comes to essays, and I don't like it that much. I'm more of a math person, so I'm thinking about potentially switching or at least minoring in math.
I see. Yeah, you can do that in UCSD, no problem. Yeah. So, okay, thank you. And Stanley, I know you got into a lot of schools, but yeah, just let us know, just share, what would you do differently?
If I could start again, I would pay more attention to leadership and community activities. There's a lot of values in there that colleges are expecting that are in the essays, because they are not just about the subject, computer science. So if I had more experience in that, it would be one less thing to worry about.
I see. Yeah, so let us know, like, how many years you haven't been home due to COVID. Are you're international student? Yeah.
I spent 3.5 years in high school without going back home.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Did you miss your parents and miss your friends back home?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's hard. So anyway, okay, thank you. And Harold, how about you?
Yeah. So for me, I would definitely say a big suggestion that I would tell myself if I were to go back and redo the college application process is that, because when you're writing essays for college, a lot of it is based on personal experience. Sometimes the hardest thing is remembering what you actually did during those experiences. So I think having a little like Google Doc or a little notebook full of like small memories of what you did during high school, whether that be community service activities, or if you, for me in specific, I did like summer college programs. So if I did college programs and I don't remember too much of it, it's hard to write a college essay about my experience during that. So I would definitely say have something or somewhere where you can put down some of the most important things that happened to you during your high school experience that might tie to your interests, like your major, for example. And then the other suggestion I have is to make sure that you're not over applying. I know over applying is very common, to make sure we have lots of backups in case we don't make it into our dream schools. But making sure that you have quality over quantity is also very important as well. Making sure that your essays are high in quality, meaning that you're able to write high quality essays while not over applying, so that you have kind of a lot of work to do, but you might not be able to put as much quality into each essay.
That's great. Yeah. We help students apply, and there's really no limit to number of schools. But I always tell the parents and students, and if you do 30, it's hard. The quality of each essay will be a little bit degraded if you're doing, say, 15 or 12. So yeah, I know, Harry, you got into a lot of school, pretty much every single school you applied. I also heard you got into Berkeley College of Music. Why did you choose Michigan over those music schools, since you have you have great music talent?
Yeah, I know there's a similar question on the lists, but I can answer very quickly. It's because I grew up around Michigan. I live in Michigan since I was small, and I've been going to the university for piano classes since I was 9. So Michigan to me is like family, is like home. So I don't feel that way going to Berkeley or going to any other college, and that's what made it special when I applied for it, because I had so many things to write about, so many connections, things that were really personal to me. So when I got into Michigan, it was very easy to determine where I would go to.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. And Fiona, you got into Rice early decision. What would you do differently?
So honestly, like I'm a big believer in things happen for a reason, and Rice was always my dream school up until application season, funny enough, because I told myself that it's like a bad mindset for me personally to have a dream school because I didn't want to be too attached to any specific school and I wanted to be more open-minded. But I do agree with a lot of the things Harold said, because I definitely did things in my application season that helped me not regret or like not want to do anything differently. So like you were saying, personally, I wrote out like all of my activities and all of my life experiences that would be any sort of way like connect, like I could use it in a PIQ or an essay. And at that point, it was almost like I was sorting what life experiences and activities I could apply to like this essay prompt or like this short answer. And this helped me not repeat things for certain schools, like repeat activities or personal experiences. And it also helped me seem like a more well-rounded, like diverse person. Because I have like life experiences and extracurricular activity that made me really happy with my results was definitely starting early. I think I started like end of junior year, like beginning of summer. And my schedule was like every day I would work on my essays, waking up for like hours, and then I would go out at night with my friends and like have a social life. So that balance really helped me like stay sane, I guess, but it also helped me achieve the results that I wanted.
I see.
So I think in the end, my sacrifices paid off because I was able to have a good mindset going into it and throughout the process, and I still maintained like a balance in my life.
Sorry. Thank you, Fiona. And then I think you start in June and then you got your Rice decision early December, right? Then you're done. Happy.
Yes, I was pretty lucky because I didn't have to apply to that many schools, because once I got in, I obviously didn't apply to the rest of the schools on my list, except for the ones that were like the deadline was earlier. But I still do agree though, like over applying can be really stressful. And I know a lot of my friends who applied to 30, even 40 schools, and they wouldn't even go to like 3/4 of the school on their list realistically.
Wow.
And even though I didn't apply to all the schools I was going to, all the schools on my list, I think I would have considered actually going to. And I think that's something really important to keep in mind, because if you don't like the cold or something, you cannot see yourself living in the East Coast or something like that. There's no point of applying to a school that you'd realistically never see yourself going to.
That's right. Yeah, we tell our students every single school that you got into it, you will be happy to go there. So if you're not happy to go there, just don't apply. So thank you for sharing that. And Kalina, is your internet doing well now? Yeah, so Kalina's internet's choppy. She's in Shenyang. So basically, I'm going to read out to start early, so you would have more time to rewrite your essays. And the second would be to narrow down what I wanted in the qualities like class sizes, programs, etc. That's awesome. So, Kalina, you got into Cornell also early, right? Edie? Yeah, her internet's not very good. Okay, Edie. Okay, awesome. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so now I will move to the next question is, Okay, this is going to be really easy. You just shout out really loud because I just want the students to know not all of us doing competition, right? Not all of us have a nonprofit, but yeah. So do you do competitions? Did you publish a research paper? Did you start a nonprofit? It's going to be quick. Lillian?
No, for high school or college.
Okay, none of those three.
Yeah, I didn't do any of them.
Okay. And Olivia?
No, I didn't do any of those, but I have a lot of other like leadership positions and I serve on my own things. So I don't know if you want me to go into detail.
Okay, that's fine for now. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And Alex, competition, research, and nonprofit.
I did one competition in high school. It was a UPenn Wharton stock investment competition, but I didn't place too well in that. I didn't even make it to like the third round or something. So I didn't even have that in my application. And then I did not publish a paper. I did have kind of like a nonprofit. I started like a food donation project where we kind of take food from local restaurants and grocery stores and then kind of donate them to food banks.
I see. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. Thank you for helping those kids. Yeah. And Cameron? Never. No competition, no research paper, no nonprofit.
Nope.
None. Okay. Yeah. So same here, right? I have two kids and they're in Berkeley, computer science, and they didn't do any of those three. Okay. So, and Kalina? Can you hear me? Okay. We need the input.
Yeah, I didn't do any of those things either.
Oh, you did not do it. And you got into Cornell. I see. So yeah, I just want to show a realistic picture of the applicants. And Harold.
Yeah, so for me, I did do competitions specifically having to do with music. So for example, piano competitions, as well as a music technology competition that I competed in late 8th grade. I wasn't able to count it as like an event that I could represent on my application, but it was kind of a crucial competition for me to participate in, to understand that I enjoy music technology and leads into sound engineering. And then another thing that I do is I don't have a nonprofit. I didn't start a nonprofit, but I, especially in my junior year of high school, I was the co-president of a nonprofit, and that helped me get a lot of kind of like experience and stories for me to write on my college essays as well.
Okay, what did a nonprofit do?
Yeah, so the nonprofit, or like the organization that I participated in, is called MYE, or Michigan Youth Empowerment Foundation. And then our youth leadership group is kind of, we involve ourselves with the community, with the youth, and we hold events at libraries or online to kind of showcase youth that there is more to life than just school, and that you can learn outside of school. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. And Fiona?
I did compete in, I don't know if this counts as competitions, but I did competitive cheerleading throughout high school and middle school. So I competed with my team in those competitions, but I never did any academic competitions, and I never did any like published research or start a nonprofit, but I did partake in some other leadership roles. But I think what mostly got me in was my life experiences that were reflected in my essays, and just like the way I worded things and wrote about my life.
Awesome. Yeah. So are you going to join the cheerleader group at Rice?
No, it actually kind of did a lot of damage to my body physically. So I think I'm done with that chapter of my life. But it was a great experience, and I learned a lot from it. And it was a big part of my, part of shaping my identity in high school.
I see. Yeah. So now I used to live in San Diego. I just moved to Berkeley. Our home's not far from the stadium. So we go to watch the footballs, and, I love that cheerleader part of the performance. It's a arts and sports. So I wish I could do it. Anyway, thanks for sharing. And Stanley, how about you for those 3 categories?
I only did a bit of competition and I didn't reach top level, like 1 or 2 math and CS, and no publication or nonprofit.
Okay, I see. Thank you. So yeah, so though all of you got into a school of your dream or first choice, pretty much, and a very difficult school to get into it. I just want to share with all the audience, especially the parents, when they come to us, oh, I want to do Amy, I want to do USICO, this and that. I try to tell them, yes, if your students really enjoyed it, do it. But not all students got into the top schools are into those categories, especially nonprofit. It's very challenging to run nonprofit, even as a parent or as an adult. So, okay. So now here we go, Lillian. So the question is, did you enjoy your high school or college life?
Yes, I loved my college experience. I chose UChicago for the core, and I really loved being able to take classes not in my major and meeting people not in my major. And I don't think I would have done that anywhere else.
Okay, so you're the only graduate students here. Tell us a little bit about college life and a little bit about UChicago. Why you got into Cornell as well? So why did you choose UChicago?
I think again, it was the core. I wanted something where I could explore different subjects, and I also wanted to be in a big city, which is sort of why I chose Chicago over Cornell and some of the other schools I got into. I think once you visit the school, you really get a better feeling. So I didn't visit all the schools I applied to, but then once I got into them, I decided to visit to decide. And that's when you really understand the culture of the school, how the school feels, and how the students interact there. So I definitely think somebody mentioned earlier about visiting the schools you apply to if you can. And yeah, I think college is challenging, but it's also a lot of fun. You make a lot of lifelong friends there.
So one more question. Do you get dorm for 4 years at UChicago?
Yes, you can if you want to.
Okay, and is it safe there?
I think a lot of people are concerned about safety, but I think if you use good judgment, when it's 2 a.m., don't walk around alone, walk around with a friend or a few friends, you should be fine.
Okay, I see. One more question. I know you're in NYC right now, New York City. Which city do you prefer, Chicago or New York?
I actually prefer New York, which is why I decided for medical school to stay in New York. But I think Chicago is also a great place. It's just very cold. I thought New York was cold, and then I went to Chicago and
Oh, I see. Yeah, we'll come to visit you, especially where your mom is there. Okay, so Lillian's mom and I went to high school together. Yeah. Well, yeah. What a relationship! What a friendship! Thank you, Lillian. Yeah, and okay, so Olivia, you went to a very competitive high school in Southern California. So, did you enjoy your high school life?
Yeah, especially senior year, I guess, college application part, because I was pretty involved with student government, and in ASB, I was the arts commissioner, the first one. So I had a lot of work that I was passionate about doing. And in ASB, we had to go to every single football game, every single basketball game. So I did that, and it's a lot of fun to get involved in school. And I also had my own club that I created. And I don't know, I think getting involved in school is really fun. And if you do, in ASB, people I feel are very happy, passionate, and positive people. And also going to clubs is nice because it's people that have similar interests as you. So yeah, I think I enjoyed my high school life. I mean, I was pretty involved, I think. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. I know not many students are involved in ASB. So, well, glad you did it. And one of our internship leader, Gerard, I think you work with Gerard, and he was very heavily involved in ASB. So that's great. So, okay. So Alex, I know you went to a private school in Southern California. Did you enjoy your high school life?
Yeah, I did. I did enjoy high school. I realized that like in high school, I can't spend all my time studying or working towards college and everything. I gotta have my own fun too. I went out with friends, I went to parties, whatever, but I also always had my priorities straight. Like finishing my work and like not pushing it back or anything like that. And kind of like scheduling everything. Even if my schedule wasn't the most specific, I made sure to finish all the things I needed to have done before I went out and had my fun. And if anything, going out and exploring and creating memories could create great college essays.
That's great. You guys
Yeah.
remember, going out and having fun will create great college essays. Awesome. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
And Cameron, yeah, where did you go to high school? You did go high school in LA area, or I know you moved from San Diego. I forgot. Yeah.
I went to high school in San Diego for 3 years, and my senior year I moved to LA.
Okay. Was that hard?
It wasn't too hard. I didn't enjoy it at first. I was really against it, but I ended up having a great time. Even when I moved, I think I actually built more lasting friendships at my new school.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I was a high school transfer. In the beginning, I had a little bit of hard time. So, wow, that's great. And so now you're back to San Diego. You like so much. That's good.
I think I actually enjoyed my college life a little more.
In San Diego for community college, right?
Starting with my move to San Diego, I think just because it's given me a lot more time and opportunity to figure out myself. Especially with the move, like moving out and living alone, you learn a lot about yourself. So spending that time in community college definitely helped me figure out myself. And but I think the one thing though is that since I took all online classes, my social life kind of tanked a bit.
I see.
I am excited to go to university. I'm definitely taking a lot of opportunities to build that.
Yeah, I see. You're gonna move into a dorm, right, at UCSD?
That's right.
Okay, which college of UCSD you're attending?
It's called John Muir.
Okay, John Muir. Okay, I think my husband went there as well many years ago. So you're like it. Yeah, I think it's one of the old colleges, right? Yeah, awesome. Good. Okay. And Kalina is a little bit frozen. So Kalina said, I definitely enjoyed my high school life. Kalina, I think, applied from Texas, hometown Texas. I did soccer all 4 years, so that really anchored me. My last year, I ended up tearing my ACL. Oh my gosh, so I couldn't play, but that ended up opening a door to me to participate in things like student government and hanging out with friends. Awesome. I think, yeah. Thank you, Kalina. Yeah, I think you're still a little bit frozen. Alex, did you play soccer as well?
I did play soccer, but like I had a bunch of reoccurring injuries, and then I eventually got surgery on my MCL.
Okay.
Yeah.
After this, I'm gonna send out an email because I was hiding the email just for privacy, but for all just the speakers, I was sending out email.
就是采访几个在美国上学。
And if you guys want to connect with each other, yeah, feel free. Okay, so it's also part of networking. Yeah, and then Harold, how about you? Did you enjoy your high school life?
Yeah, I think high school for me was very enjoyable. I think the first 2 years was especially with COVID, it was kind of difficult. I think the second year of high school was when it was probably the worst, when everyone was online. I think it was very hard to adjust to it. But then coming back in my junior year and senior year, I was able to find a balance between my social life as well as academics. So I think that high school was very enjoyable for me.
Awesome, thank you. And Fiona, how about you?
I am very satisfied with how my high school experience went. Personally, I am the kind of person to be very social, put myself out there. So I think that I experienced a lot in high school, which even though there may have been good and bad experiences, I think that all experiences can be good if you learn from them. And I'm really happy that I've learned the lessons that I have to take with me into college. And I also think that I maintained a very good balance between my academic and social life. Like I kind of explained with my kind of schedule that I had during the summer with college applications. Throughout high school, I also really had like a good balance of keeping good grades and understanding like class material, doing extracurriculars and passion projects while also being social and going out with friends and meeting new people.
That's great. Yeah, just our interactions, right, Fiona? You did a lot with us, right? So you were interning last summer, made some great videos, and now you're our tutor, a coach, an in-person coach to a few ESL students. They love you so much. So thank you, Fiona, for teaching them. Thank you. And Stanley, how about you?
I definitely enjoy my high school life and I give the credit to my class. I think the people there are all kind and they all really friendly and friends because I'm glad that the school, because web is traditionally considered very academically competitive, but I guess my friend group wasn't. So that was a really good thing. It gives me a lot of new experiences that I could just be able to kind of try out different things. So yeah.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, so I've known Stanley, I think, since 2016. You were going to join our summer camp, and now we're here. And I just heard so much about your hard working. You work so hard. It's just unbelievable because I know, especially for male students, students mature a little bit, and for you to live alone on your own and work so hard, it's amazing. And you're an international student, and you guys can tell Stanley has barely no accent at all. So that's awesome. Thank you, Stanley. And okay, so I'm gonna read our last question, which is a couple sentences. What's the key advice to our younger students, Lillian?
I think this is cheesy, but never stop trying and don't give up if you have a specific goal.
Yes, that's right. You made it. Awesome. And Olivia?
I would say that you should really reflect on what you want in like a college experience, what major you want to study, and like pursue extracurriculars that you're passionate about, not just because you think it would like look good on a college application. Because in the end, like you're gonna have to like live that life. You're not like living for your parents or something.
I see. Okay. So this is very similar to one of the students who sent me, the twins who got into one's RISD, a Rhode Island School of Design. The other one is NYU. And one of the twins said, listen to yourself, don't listen to the parents. That's the advice. So Alex, how about you?
For me, I'd say take every opportunity you have in front of you. Like even if it isn't the most appealing, I really do think you can get something out of almost everything. So kind of like in short, just always say yes. Like if your mom like says like, oh, you want to attend this summer camp or something like that, just say yes to that if you can. If you have the time, say yes and go attend. I think you'll have a good time or a better time than you expect, and then you never know what'll come out of those experiences.
Yeah, I agree. I have two kids, okay? One listens to me, one does not listen to me at all. So they're both fine. So listen to your parents and don't listen to your parents. It's all fine. Okay, thank you, Alex. And Cameron, how about you? Advice.
What I really struggled with when I moved out of home was my own self-discipline. But what really helped me out a lot was setting goals, not just like long-term goals, but breaking them down into like monthly and like weekly goals. That really helped me achieve what I wanted to achieve. And also, I thought about like what's the point in setting goals if you're not going to go and work for it? My advice would definitely be setting goals.
Okay, give us a one goal, if you don't mind, your monthly goal.
One of my monthly goals actually is to hit like a certain weight. I'm trying to like put on more meat.
Bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to set up monthly goal, just reduce my weight. So, okay. And Kalina, how about you? Advice. Okay. So Kalina typing out. Okay. Although the application process can make you feel small and unoriginal, try to preserve your voice and your story in your applications. Self-reflection is a crucial aspect that will only help you improve. So take time to get to know yourself. Wow, it sounds like an advice from a person with a lot of wisdom, Kalina. So I actually lately I've been doing a lot of research on AI. Okay, and we went on AI to figure out whether AI can write a nice college essay, right? So because we have students of class 2024, and I think very limited number of the students are trying to get help with AI. And our counselors can detect right away whether AI writes for you or you write for yourself. And one of the reflection is, oh my gosh, this essay is written by an adult without personal voice. Okay, that's AI writer. So just to let you guys know. So I think Kalina's advice is very, very good. Preserve your voice in your essay and applications. Thank you, Kalina. Harold, what's your advice?
Yeah. So my advice for all these students out there is to understand that the true college application doesn't start the summer before your senior year, but instead it starts all throughout high school, or even before high school. I think the experiences that you obtain for yourself, to really understand and be open-minded about doing things for yourself, doing things to find passions where you can sit down and do something for hours and enjoy it. I think things like that is what makes your college application really special. And it helps to start earlier, not in the writing essay aspect, but in the finding things that you can present to yourself that you might find that you enjoy. And that way you can be open-minded when it comes to choosing your college major, or you can have a wider selection for yourself.
Thank you, Harold. Yeah, every year we hold this panel, and pretty much every time we hear our graduates telling the audience the same thing, trying to find something that you really enjoy doing. So thank you, Harold, for emphasizing that again. Fiona, how about you?
My advice is, like Harold kind of said, figuring out like what your interests are. So definitely just trying to apply yourself to a lot of different fields and seeing what piques your interests, and not just kind of sticking in your comfort zone, because colleges want to see someone that's more interdisciplinary with more personality, which I think why it's so important to just put yourself out there and experience many new things. And I agree with some of the other speakers when they say to stick to yourself, because definitely my parents in the beginning of the college application season, they really wanted to be hands-on with editing my essays, and the drafts that I did with them, I just didn't like at all. And the drafts that I did with myself, and I also was going back and forth with a college essay editor, I liked a lot more. And I guess it ended up working out. I also have friends who some of their essays their parents had edited and were very hands-on with, and some of them they just did themselves, and they ended up getting better results from using their personal voice. And maybe that's just a coincidence, but I think that even though it's corny and colleges always say, we just want you to be yourself in your application, it is very much true.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I have discussed with parents and the counselors, and if you have the counselor yourself, that's yourself, right? And the parents, some folks have aunties and uncles. You know, it's very hard to give like 6, 4, 5 adults in one piece of essay. So every time I'll tell the parents, say, hey, let the student take the lead and we'll support. And that's about it. Okay. Thank you for emphasizing that, Fiona. Thank you. And Stanley, how about you?
I would recommend being a passionate person. If you're not passionate about your own primary subject enough, then try to be passionate about the people around you, make friends and take part in activities and have a life. Because every bit of that shows up in your essays. And if you're focused on and rewarding academic pursuit too much, you can get really bitter. And you still want to show to the college that you're still kind and living human being. So and because that's also a good thing, because your profiles is not monolithic. You're more of a diversified person. So that's something you can work towards.
I see. Thank you. Okay, so we have a few minutes. We'll open up to the audience, ask questions. Usually folks don't ask like first minute or silent. Then we'll say, okay, now we're down. And then everybody start asking questions. So anybody who have questions, you can ask through the microphone or you can type. We have about less than 10 minutes. All the students are taking their weekend time and their valuable summer time. So pretty much we need to wrap up, okay? Around 7 p.m. in about 6 minutes. No questions at all? None?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to ask one question.
Mm.
Regard the psychology majors, which school are you like more recommending in terms of more the like the medical side or the therapeutic side?
Okay. Here, is any of you doing psychology here? Yeah. So, Lillian, do you have any idea? Do you want to answer? No? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think you're asking for a school choice. It will be very hard. Okay. And that probably may be a private conversation. If you can connect us, we can arrange a free consultation with our counselor, because we really need to look at where you're applying and your interests, your GPA, and all kinds of stuff. Okay. So I'm sorry, we'll not be able to give a specific school choice right here. And this is more conceptual here discussion. Okay. And okay, so Fiona is saying good standard type test scores can definitely help. Bad ones won't hurt you if you don't submit them. Okay. So Fiona is telling everybody get a good SAT and ACT. Did all of you do SAT and ACT here? I know Cameron probably. Did you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, you also did. Okay. We have one student who got into RISD, in Gavin, and his advice he's written here and telling us that it's fine if you don't have ACT and SAT, but he's applying for arts. Okay, I think it still helps. Okay, so that's one. And then Savannah's questions, how important do you think? Oh yeah, so we already answered that question. Sounds good. And okay, any other questions? No questions for medical school? I know some Berkeley parents and students are in the audience. Any questions for Lillian? No? Okay. Yeah, here.
There's one more question in the chat box.
Okay. So the audience being direct to say, why didn't you get in the first year, Lillian?
I think a few things that contribute to that. I applied a little late since I took my MCAT in September. It was that COVID year where my MCAT just kept on getting canceled, and then I think I applied too late. And then I think also I didn't really figure out my own profile. I think a lot of people talked about this for their college apps as well. I feel like it was very generic, and I was writing about what people wanted to hear instead of what was actually my own experience. And I think I did actually grow a lot. I think in the 2 years I did banking, and at the same time worked in harm reduction in the Lower East Side.
Okay. So yeah, do not apply too late, right? So prepare early. So for people going to medical school, one more question. When do you think it's a proactive time frame to start thinking about application?
I think honestly, it starts the minute you start college, because you have to start building your profile, like volunteering and doing research. I started my first year in spring doing research, and I've been teaching piano for free since my first year as well. So I think it's just like they look for a lot of longitudinal activities that you've continued throughout college and after college. And then also it's just like all the classes you have to start taking first year, and then like preparing for the MCAT and everything.
Okay. So for students, if you want to go through pre-med, you have to start thinking earlier, prepare earlier. Medical school is hard. Yeah. So one more question, Lillian. What do you plan to choose which area for practice? You have any idea now? Or you don't know yet?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I will figure it out.
Okay, I see. Yeah, there's one more question for you. Why do you work in Wall Street if your goal is to apply for medical school?
So I grew up in New York, and my mom actually also works in finance. So it was something I've always been looking at. And in college, I was in a few like finance related women in business clubs. And when I looked at the seniors when I was a freshman, I was like, that is who I want to be, like how passionate they were and how they talked about themselves and what they were interested in. So I decided to do banking recruiting as well. So that starts in like second year of college. But yeah, I think it's just like a good experience to sort of grow your network, learn how a real job works, and learn out of everything you possibly need to know.
Yeah, that's great. So we had a panel last year, and Lillian joined as an audience, and we had a student from Cornell Medical School, Amy. Amy was also working in Wall Street and for a year and before she started at Cornell Medical School. So I think it's not uncommon, right? And the medical school sometimes want you guys to take a year or 2 years, right? A gap year. Okay, that's good. And then okay, so and Stanley said under applying can be fear mongering. So okay, have a strategy. Okay, sounds good. And we're pretty much at the clock. One more question, because I promised all of you that we'll be ramping up and you have a life to go. Half of you are going to Sunday morning, and then we're going to celebrate Saturday dinner here. So one more question for audience. If you guys can shout loud, that would be great. No more question? Okay, that's it? Yeah. Okay, I guess everybody's very shy. Thank you all for helping us and inspiring our students, and also basically sharing the truth of your application. Because people are so worried about all the labeling, but you are sharing with your heart and telling the students that what you actually did. So I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. And I will send an email, and we can see each other, email, contact information, and we'll start networking. Thank you, and have a great summer. Enjoy your school, and congratulations again. Thank you. Okay, talk to you soon. Yeah, we'll end this. Yeah, we may have another session in a few weeks with some other students if we can get the panel together. Thank you again. Okay.